I liked these opening credits during the first 4 seasons when they actually felt earned, but now it just feels like the incompetent writers are beating an incompetent horse. Uh-oh. God statues, wells, the waif, excitement? I think we can all say for certain that the Arya sweeping the floors plotline has gone on for too long at this point. This symbolism is beyond being on the nose.
I've been sweeping this floor for days.
Good.
I didn't come here to sweep floors.
Neither did the audience, but we get what we get, Arya.
The girl must become Noah.
Which one's the many-faced god?
Somehow, Arya can't put 2 and 2 together and figure out that the many-faced god is all of them. Isn't it pretty fucking obvious?
There is only one god. The girl knows his name. And all men know his gift.
Ooh, spooky. This body cleanup service has impeccable dramatic timing. She's only just now doing this? Hasn't she been in the middle of the crowds for a while now? The show spends so little time on this wedding that you would think it was a marriage between 2 peasants when it's actually the king and a highborn lady. I guess they'd rather show us a couple hours of Arya sweeping floors instead of interesting political developments.
Did I hurt you?
No, you were lovely.
It all happened so fast.
Premature ejaculation.
This is all I want to do. All day, every day, for the rest of my life.
Wouldn't that be glorious?
The cringe is strong with this one.
No, I'm fine. I just want you all to myself. I want to know everything there is to know about King Tommen, first of his name.
Well, if the show had spent any time developing his character, maybe there'd actually be some stuff to know.
Sometimes it feels odd. I'm the king. I've married the most beautiful woman in the world. It's all because my brother died. I don't feel guilty. That's what's odd.
Ah yes, the greatest pillow talk in all the land. My brother died violently and I didn't give a shit. Try it out, guys. It really gets him going.
Well, but I'm a man now.
Motherfucker, you're a stick figure. Also, Marjorie's manipulation actually made sense in the books because Tommen was so young, but in the show he's significantly older and therefore he comes off as uncharacteristically stupid when he can't see what she's doing.
But that's where you grew up. You always told me that you liked the people there better.
Skip.
What is the record? I'm sure we can break it.
Wow, Cersei's timing was perfect. She walked in right as Marjorie was finishing a sex story about her son. What are the odds? Also, I love how the new queen has 0 guards protecting her. I guess the royal family isn't very important in this world.
There's no need for such formalities. In any event, judging from the king's enthusiasm, the queen mother will be a queen grandmother soon. Wouldn't that be a lovely day?
And what was the point of this conversation? I mean, from our perspective, we heard Marjorie making fun of Tommen and Cersei, but from an in-universe perspective, why did Cersei bother visiting Marjorie? They didn't discuss anything important. They started laughing a little too soon after Cersei left. You'd think they'd want to be a little more careful to hide their insults.
And?
The new Lord Cowan paid his taxes.
This is just about the most political intrigue we get in these later seasons, and while I do appreciate it for what it is, I'm giving a sin for the show not having more stuff similar to it.
And as it happens, I found the perfect girl to solidify our hold on the North.
Oh, you mean like an Arya Stark imposter? I bet they'll stick to the books and not completely fuck up this plotline. Shit.
That's Maid Kaelin.
And that's unnecessary exposition.
Your marriage proposal, it wasn't for you.
No.
Seriously, this plotline is so stupid. Sansa's character is way better suited if she stays in the Vale and follows the story that George R.R. Martin wrote, not this half-baked bullshit.
Eldest surviving child of Ned and Catelyn Stark. Your place is in the north.
I can't marry him. You can't make me. He is a traitor, a murderer.
Oh, really? Well, none of that changes the fact that I'm really fucking bored.
No, you'll be marrying his son and heir, Ramsay.
Yeah, and he's a real step up.
I won't force you to do anything. Don't you know by now how much I care for you?
Pedophilia.
Bystander to tragedy from the day they executed your father. Stop being a bystander, do you hear me? Stop running.
Isn't Sansa supposed to be intelligent at this point in the story? How can she not see that Littlefinger is controlling her and she's still a sheep? Screenwriting is so hard. How dare this shit show of a plotline use the Stark theme? That music is above you. Does Littlefinger seriously not have a single outrider scanning the area for threats? How have Brienne and Podrick not been caught yet? Everything about this is so stupid.
So he borrowed a hand.
He borrowed it.
He wasn't a thief. He was drunk and hungry and he wasn't thinking.
Skip.
You beat the hound.
Why would you bring that up, Podrick? We all want to collectively forget that horrible scene. Stop talking about it.
And I'm going to show you how to ride properly.
Thank you.
I can't knight you, but I can teach you how to fight.
I suppose that's more important.
Boring!
Never been so happy. Till I saw a few of the boys sniggering.
So this story is basically just the replacement for a Sir Hyle's wager about who would take her virginity? Why does the show replace things from the book with less interesting versions? It's dumb.
Yes, Pod, he liked men. I'm not an idiot.
Careful now, guys. You don't want to get cancelled by the Twitter mob.
And I couldn't save him in return.
You also couldn't save this show despite all your badassery. Although, to be fair, I don't think anyone possibly could.
Stannis is a man, not a shadow. And a man can be killed.
Yes, well, I'm sure the show will follow the books on this part too. I'm sure they would never half-ass a death scene for one of the most badass characters in the whole show.
But if your mind's made up, I won't try and dissuade you.
So Stannis is no longer the stubborn dude he started the show as? His character has completely changed? Okay, cool.
May I ask, Your Grace, how long you plan to stay at Castle Black?
Are you bored of us already?
Me? Yeah, kinda.
As long as the Boltons rule the North will suffer.
The fact that this scene and the others surrounding it leads to the Battle of the Bastards is worth a sin, because fuck that shit show of an episode. I'm only on the opening shot of this scene and I'm already bored.
Who are you?
Someone who used to like this show. Jaqen's sense of dramatic timing is almost as impeccable as Cersei's. You know, as much as this show has gone downhill, this moment where Arya hides Needle and therefore holds on to her family while the Stark theme plays in the background is pretty great. Take a sin back, damn it. Oops, I must have rewound to the beginning of the episode on accident. Wait, this is a different scene of Arya sweeping the floor? Well, shit. There is zero explanation for why the Wave hates Arya so much, and it's just stupid tension building that leads to a really shitty action scene later.
Lady Sansa, welcome.
What are you even welcoming her to? The death of her character arc?
Lord Bolton.
I know the episode is trying to say that she's still hesitant about this, but I feel like Sansa should be smart enough not to let that show in front of the Boltons. Bitches be crazy.
The North remembers.
But the one thing they don't remember is the books.
Brian. Seems like a good job for a ginger.
That's racist.
You can stick your order up your bastard ass.
Hey, that's also racist. The fuck is this camera angle for? It looks like this camera was supposed to capture someone sitting at this table, but there's nobody there anymore, so it's basically just showing us a bunch of empty space.
I've always been afraid.
You know what? I've gotta remove another sin. This scene is really great, and you've gotta love it. This guy would be a carbon copy of a Catholic priest if the whores were children. White boy booty.
I ask that you protect our faith by arresting these criminals and throwing them in the black cells. I ask that you execute their leader, this so-called High Sparrow.
Maybe they should have listened to the High Septon. If they had killed the High Sparrow, we would have been saved from a whole lot of boring monologues.
The young man said I'd find the High Sparrow back here. Where is he?
High Sparrow? Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Like Lord Duckling or King Turtle.
How fortunate that the guy Cersei singles out to talk to about the High Sparrow is the High Sparrow himself. What a stroke of luck.
The gods sent you here to tempt me?
Nah, don't worry. You're not her brother. This was so predictable that I don't even think you can call it a jump scare.
I've heard very little about you, which makes you quite a rare thing, as lords go.
How the hell has Littlefinger never heard about Ramsay and his sadistic ways? There are so many rumors flying around about him from the beginning, but we're supposed to believe that Littlefinger had no clue he would be abusive?
I assure you she's still a virgin. Tyrion never consummated the marriage. By the law of the land, she is no man's wife.
Yeah, that's not how that works. She's still married to Tyrion by law, and therefore this marriage between Sansa and Ramsay is a total sham.
A message for you from Cersei Lannister. A rider arrived from the Eyrie shortly before dawn.
How much time is supposed to have passed between the previous scene and this one? I mean, it must be a really long time if a raven went from King's Landing to the Eyrie, and then a rider went from the Eyrie to Winterfell, but it doesn't seem as if Sansa and Littlefinger have been here for all that long. This is just confusing, and it doesn't really add up.
I'd like to borrow one of your birds. Cersei will expect a reply.
I'd like to read the reply.
Seeing Littlefinger get outfoxed is really sad, because his character is supposed to be the smartest in the entire series, but he's basically just evolved into a baboon at this point.
I'm not sure how many new ways I can find of saying this.
Don't worry, Varys. The screenwriters also don't know how to come up with original dialogue. You're not alone. Varys allows this.
Stone men. Good luck stopping the spread of grayscale with prayer.
Shitty foreshadowing is shitty. From the dramatic way she looks at Tyrion, you'd think this actually mattered, but it has no effect on anything whatsoever.
It's even better luck to suck a dwarf's cock.
Cock jokes, classic post-season 4 Game of Thrones.
I need to speak to someone with hair.
That's racist.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Someone get him some Viagra. Also, what the fuck is the point of this? So Tyrion's dick doesn't work anymore? Why? Who cares? What does this do for the story? BDSM.
She tastes like cigarettes.
You loved your family. Avenge them.
At last we will have revenge.
Who are you?
I am your father.